Welcome to the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, we missed you guys having a day off yesterday on Easter. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you had a wonderful weekend, kid. We are back. We are live, and I got my boy, The Dream, on the line. What is going on, player?
Play ball! Oh, shoot, y'all. Baseball is here. Your boy is, I can't wait. I watched another last night's baseball game as I would rather go to sleep. But it was exciting from what I understand, as I know the St. Louis Cardinals are out the gate doing what they usually do, winning, as they won yesterday 3-0 and beat the Cubs, who I guess the Cubs are just going to forever suck. The Cubs have stunk, like, as long as I mean, I don't ever remember them being good ever. Yep. But I know that they were. So Cub fans, relax. I know that they were good, but they just have seemed to always stunk to me. And they're off to a sneaky start already. Guys, big show today. First off, got to start off with huge apologies. Huge. I don't know what happened. I feel awful. Yes, I was all over Kentucky. You guys know that. Undefeated, win the national title, do their whole thing. And Saturday night was just a mess. Kentucky went in and they got beat by Wisconsin. And I still don't know how Wisconsin did it, but I know that they did do it. But I still don't know how they did it. The only thing I'm going to say about Kentucky, and we went over this yesterday with a few guys in here. First of all, I got some guys saying that Kentucky was overrated. You cannot be overrated and be undefeated, okay? Period. I'm sorry, you just can't. Them going into the tournament undefeated, like no other team was, made them number one. So they were not overrated, all right? Then I hear that Wisconsin was underrated. Wisconsin was not underrated, as they had a few losses and they came up short in a couple of spots this season, so they were right. So as far as the rating system is concerned, guys, I think everybody was on point, all right? But just because you're rated number one doesn't mean you can't be beat. I mean, personally, I didn't think that Kentucky could be beat. I thought their best chance of getting beat was against Notre Dame. I did not think Wisconsin had enough to beat them, but I was wrong, all right? Which, I mean, not the first time or the last time. But I would also like to say that I do believe that Kentucky this season played a few games that they played really tight games, were able to get down big, coast back, get down big, coast back, and end up finding a way to win at the end of the game. I believe that had a little bit to do with their loss, as they just were a little too comfortable allowing Wisconsin to do some of the things that they do. If you notice, they gave a big lead up in the first half, but managed to close it to a tie by the end of the first half. So to tell me that Kentucky was overrated and couldn't play with Wisconsin, I'm gonna have to fall back from that, all right? Because Kentucky definitely could play with them, and I believe that Kentucky, could beat them still. And I believe that was the right side to be on, as far as I'm concerned. However, Wisconsin outwilled them in that game, and when you get down to that 3-minute mark or 4-minute mark, I'm not sure what the time exact was, when Kentucky was up 4.
Yeah.
Kentucky was looking for stops at that point, which they usually get, all right? Wisconsin ended up getting the stops. They ended up getting a basket, and then Decker hits the huge 3, all right? If you ask me, when Decker hits that 3, Kentucky goes into panic mode. At that point, Cal should have called a timeout, and I don't believe he called a timeout till their next possession, but I felt like a timeout should have been called. Some composure should have been gotten, and they should have just, stayed relaxed. But I believe at that point in the game, Kentucky actually panicked. And by them panicking, they ended up losing that game.
Well, you know what, man? I mean, 3 straight shot clock violations, bro. You know what I mean? They went down in 3 straight. I mean, at that point, that was the point where I took Wisconsin on the live line to get out of it. I was like, oh, no. I don't remember if they were up or not, but I just wasn't feeling it at that point. I had a feeling that it was Kentucky doing what they normally did in those tight games with Georgia and Ole Miss and stuff like that, and Wisconsin was just better competition at that point. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing was, Wisconsin was definitely playing a tad bit better defense, and I don't think Kentucky was being as deliberate as they should have been in getting the ball into the post and trying to go, and go to the hoop in that direction. And that was a big mistake on their part. We did talk about Kentucky, you and I personally, about their point, about me. I never loved Kentucky's point guard, but I felt that, he was good enough to get around it because they were so talented in every other area and so tall. But at that point, I felt like, and that's when, and then a lot of people blame the coaching, and I somewhat can agree with some of the coaching issues. At that point, Coach Cal needed to tell them guys after the first shot clock violation, okay, this is the play we want to run. We're going to put it in here and do it this way, because you had the guys looking a little bit lost, like they didn't know what to do, and they should have known exactly what to do in the direction to go and take it from there. Even if it was about him saying, okay, give it to this one and you score, take the shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he had to make that call. But don't, like you said, don't let the shot clock run out.
3 times in a row, bro.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Rebound. I mean, if me and the kid got into this a little bit, and, he talked about them being out rebound, and I agree that they were out rebound to an extent, but I got to say, man, the ball bounced Wisconsin's way every time. I mean, it was like there would be guys, it'd be a ton of white shirts right there, but the ball would bounce like over their heads to the back where the Wisconsin guy was. Or there'd be no white shirts there, and the Wisconsin guy would be standing right there for the putback. It was, I mean, if you ever watched a game and a team, almost like I said, and I've been using this term before, seemed charmed. I mean, Wisconsin, there was like a charming factor in the game.
Sure.
Kentucky, they fought hard and they did play hard, and I still think that there could have been a lot more intensity in the first half. I don't like Kentucky's passion and the way they come out at the beginning of the game. I think they should have a lot more intensity. And then there should have been a lot more intensity as far as the start of the second half. To build the lead, get a solid lead of 4 to 6 points and just keep it. You know what I mean? Build on it. And they just didn't do that. But they hadn't done it all season. They really didn't play like that all season. So you can't fault them for not doing that. Kentucky played how they played most of the season. All
day, man. That's why I was saying, talking to you about it, the first halves in like so many games, they just come out and they're just like, whatever, we'll make it up in the second half or whatever. Just kind of no urgency. Right. You know what I'm saying? They should have came out and been screaming after dunks and stuff like that. That's the kind of team that you want to see. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, hey, you know what? It finally caught up to them, and, they had a good year, and, hey, we made a lot of money with them.
Oh, we made a ton of money with them. I feel really bad about, how it ended. I dropped a bit. I dropped a bit Saturday as I had him in the futures play. The money line parlay ended up crashing, which I had him, money line in it. Hey, you guys know, listen, I don't put out nothing I don't play. So just like you guys got banged up, if you tailed me, your boy got banged up too. It's not like I'm sitting, in the crib laughing right now, or not laughing, but sitting back, and I didn't lose no money. I lost my shirt on that game as well, and I'm not going to try to, I'm not going to try to weasel my way around of a loss, because you guys know how I feel about losses. That hurt. Well, not to mention, I was blown out, drunk on top. Well, not drunk, but really was. And dude, I got to be honest with you. Saturday night, I was a complete mess. This was just a bad weekend for me in general as far as my intake. Cause I worked real hard to get in shape for Vegas, and I was like, well, since I'm here, I'm going to just stay here and just roll right into the summer. And I got to be honest with you, I really crushed this weekend.
Oh my God. You got to see what Yodo just put up, man. It's funny. Well, you know what? Well, since your future play in Kentucky didn't win, Dream, and still the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world is your boy, the Mad Hatter. You are not the champ.
Kick rock, son.
I had to dig a little salt into the wound, Playboy. Right after Kentucky, we are fresh into opening day of Major League Baseball, your favorite sport, son.
I've been working on it for 10 minutes, so I think I got something real solid right now.
Oh, man, I watched a little bit of the game last night, kid. I had to, you know what I mean? It was, it was a little bit of, opening night hoopla and stuff like that. I was watching the NBAs yesterday, and you know what? I tried to clean up some of your mess with Kentucky with my boy.
Nah, dude, by the way, no, because you got on the show Friday, okay? Yeah, don't try to, no. Don't try to segue into that smooth, all right? No. You got on the show Friday screaming and yelling about your boy. You can't wait till Easter, and you can't wait, and the Bulls are dusty, and they stink, and no. You're not going to segue into, I tried to clean up some of your mess.
Because, dude, they were covered. They were up 12, 14, 15, 10, the whole game, in the second half. I'm like, oh, we got this. We're giving 8 points. And I actually had him on a money line, too, with Pop and the Indiana Pacers, which, by the way, the Pacers got Paul George back, and they look pretty damn good. So, just saying. But anyway,
that was the Heat, though.
I know, okay. but still. So, anyway, I'm looking at this, and my boy, dude, at the end, they're missing foul shots left and right. And then they let, I think it was Butler, come down at the end for Chicago with no time left and drains a three and crushes everybody's spread play. Buzzkill. You had a minus the spread, too.
I had a minus the 8. I gave it out on here, and I got – and you know what? I don't even know why I played with that because Papa Smurf said don't let you get away with it. Nah, Papa, I ain't letting you get away with it. You know what? I don't really. You know how I feel about spreads. I don't really mess with them that often. But after the big pep talk that I had on Friday about how your boy was gonna kill him and it would be an Eastern national TV. You know how you blew him up like your super blowout pick of the season.
No, I think my boy needs to put the headband back on, son, because he's looking crazy without it.
You're stupid. Oh my God.
Hairline's looking a little like mine these days. You know what I mean?
What the dude is doing is though, I think he's just getting everybody else so much more involved as he wants to play. He knows in order to win a championship, you got to play like a team. It can't be one guy because in the event that he goes bad or doesn't have a good game, the team's stuck.
Yeah, but you see the way he tries to get everybody involved, though? He, walks down the court in transition. You know what I mean? He just kind of just walks, strolling down like he's walking down the street. You know what I mean? It's just I hope I get the fire back in him for the playoffs, which I think I will. But I'm just right now he's just kind of coasting. You know what I mean? Are you getting that feeling about him?
No, I don't feel like he's coasting. I feel like he's trying to be deliberate in his actions and letting the other guys go.
Yeah.
I feel like he wants them to play like a team. He wants them to not depend on him, like I said, so that in the event of a 7-game series and he's having a bad game or whatever, the other guys will be comfortable in what they're doing. I mean, you got to remember, some of them guys with Shumpert and the other guy, that J.R. Smith, they haven't been playing with him. Everybody hasn't been playing that long. You know what I mean? It's still, everybody's still, even though it looks good, but they're still filling out each other's chemistry in order to know how each other plays. So he's pulling himself back. I feel he's pulling himself back a little bit to get them all involved so that they're playing as a cohesive unit come the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll tell you right now, if they play that kind of level versus Atlanta or something like that, I think we're going to have an issue.
Well, he's obviously not going to do that once the playoff starts, but now is the time to experiment if you're gonna. And speaking of experiments, I'd like to talk about the San Antonio Spurs,
yes,
who I, by the way, was talking about a few months ago when nobody was listening to me and telling you guys that this Spurs team, you can't. Great fundamentals, and it works, and you cannot count them out. And I told you that this team is probably going to move up. I'm not going to go as far as that 2 spot, but they're definitely moving up in their playoff seeding.
Did you hear that Golden State has not won in that building in 32 tries, bro?
Really?
32-0 the Spurs are versus Golden State in their building.
Wow.
That's got to go back, 15 years? How many times they play them, in their house?
Wow, I didn't hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? So, hey, big ups to the UConn women, too, for laying the smacketh down. My God, huh?
They always do that, though.
Anybody gonna beat them? Dude, they've got 9 titles in, 20 years, bro. Craziness.
Just 9? They got 20 titles in 20 years.
Yeah, it seems like every other year they win the title. It's nuts.
I don't seem like every year they win the title to me that I've been alive. I mean, that's just letting you know how dusty Connecticut. Let me stop. That's letting you know how dusty Connecticut men are.
Yeah, right. Oh, definitely, man, definitely. Well. Anyway, dude, so we got
Connecticut's full of a bunch of dudes that are handpicked by their women. That is so true. That is so representative of my neighborhood, by the way. Yep, exactly. I asked cats to come over to watch games. They're like, "Oh no, I gotta paint the foyer." Yeah, right. Exactly. Speaking of that, man, next Friday's my birthday, kid. We're doing a big birthday show for myself on here, and I'm gonna actually start it off with a little bit of mimosa. I think right fresh in the morning, kid. Looking forward to the nation. The nation's gonna be doing shots with me first thing in the morning, Playboy. Nice,
and then my bride says she wants to call in for a minute.
All right, that's good. I like that.
I'm like, I don't know if you're prepared for that, honey. Because I think the nation is going to have a lot of fun with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to that, man. That's going to be a blast. And, hey, dude, listen to this, Dream. So I hooked it up where next Wednesday is the start of the NHL playoffs.
Yep.
Guess who I got coming on?
Go.
First Lady to Fake Fam and Total Sports Edge, kid.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, the First Lady's coming on by herself, dude. She's coming on to rip it because she's been on fire, dude. 12-2 or 13-2 or something like that. Her best bets with hockey. So, you know what? I'm looking forward to getting the two of them on here and breaking down the NHL playoffs. It's the first day of the NHL playoffs, dude. So, pretty excited about that, kid.
Very nice.
Yep. Tomorrow we got, we got the Moneyline guy coming on to talk some MLBs, your favorite sport.
No, can't wait.
Can't wait for that. And Thursday we've got sportslock.com, dude. Awesome guest. I can't wait to get them on and rock and roll, dude. So, my man, what you want to get into first? You want to talk about this game tonight?
Let's talk about the game tonight.
Yes, the Dukies in Wisconsin, kid. Wisconsin's opened up as I think it was a pick 'em to start, but now it's a Wisconsin -1. Let me take a look at the total and just see what I got here as far as the total is concerned. Total 139 to 140. Wow. Dude, I got to be honest with you. I've been racking this brain, for the last 24 hours, racking this in my brain, and I can't come up with a side here.
Yeah, it's a very tough. See, my issue, the first problem you got with me is I'm a Duke fan.
Yep.
All right, that's my first issue with this game is I'm a Duke fan, so I have to try to be unbiased, being a Duke fan. My thing with this game is, and you guys have known I've talked about this most of the season. In other sports, I haven't really talked about it in college basketball because I thought Kentucky was going to win the whole thing. But we have the charmed team, all right. And there's always, it seems like, in all sports, every now and then as you get down to the wire, every year, in years, you have a charmed team. This year, it apparently seems to be like this Wisconsin team is the charm team.
Yeah.
As I have believed that Wisconsin, and I said this before, I don't believe that Wisconsin is the most athletically gifted team out there on the court. And I didn't think they were against Kentucky. I didn't think they were against Arizona either. But they were able to, despite that, get around that and still manage to get their wins. They've come up big in huge spots. Kaminsky, I got to give it to him. He has played absolutely lights out. He's been really impressive. I would say towards the end of the regular season into this tournament, this guy has impressed me 150% more than I was impressed watching him during the regular season. play basketball. I think his game is, off the hook right now. He stepped his game up quite a bit to a level that I didn't even think. I mean, he's been big on both ends, offensively and defensively, and has been very, very impressive. A lot more impressive than the counterpart on the other side, or his opposition, I should say, Okafor.
Right.
While Okafor was better this last game, Okafor still doesn't do it for me. Just his general energy level for me is just not. It's no good. It doesn't work for me. He a kid that's obviously very gifted, a very talented, huge hands. I know that's a big factor with him, but just his energy level, his gameplay, his passion, his fire, it just is lacking for me, especially on this stage at this level. He should just be showing that much more desire. And, maybe he's just one of those guys that doesn't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
And I get that. I can understand that. But for me, that doesn't work. I need an emotion, guy that's out there really, really hustling and really playing hard. I honestly think, and I know he's not, I honestly believe that Okafor should stay at Duke at least another year minimum, because I do not believe he's ready for the pros. That being said, I don't think Kaminsky's going to be a great pro either, only because these two guys to me are guys that need to go to good teams. They need good teammates around them, and then they would be good and maybe even better. But these kids are going to get thrown to the wolves. They're going to go to bad teams. And on a bad team, the other teammates are going to kind of be looking at them, to take them and carry them. I don't believe that either one of these guys are that guy on the NBA level. But that's, of course, my opinion. So, I mean, you guys, you can take it with a grain of salt, whatever you want, but I just don't believe that either one of these guys would make great pros. Now, I'll tell you who I think is going to be a good pro. If he goes pro, could be a good pro. And that's that Winslow kid for Duke. Dude's part of a champion. Plays hard, plays tough all game long, will not be stopped, is good off the dribble. You could tell this kid's got he's got that whole package that you like and that you want in the NBA. That give me the ball and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm not waiting or relying on anybody else. The defense broke down. I'm doing what I got to do. Love this. On the other side of that, I love my man Decker. Decker's got that chip on his shoulder as well. And looks like, with his three-point shooting, and I know it's just gotten better in the tournament, but that's just my thing to add to the charm pedigree. So, here's where I'm at, guys. My heart says Duke because I'm a Duke fan. However, like I wrote yesterday, my brain and my money are going to go on Wisconsin. As I think that they're charmed. I think that they are headed to getting this win. I think they will figure out a way to overcome Duke. And I think that they will just manage some kind of way to win this game, whether it's a 3 at the end of the game, a big 3 at the end of the game, or whatever have you. I also like the over in this game. And I'll tell you my main reason for liking the over is I could very easily see this game going into overtime. So I like the over.
All right. So taking a look at this now, my opinion is this. I mean, Wisconsin, you could tell during the Kentucky game, they seemed very, very focused and amped the entire game. You know what I mean? They had that fire in them. Okay.
Yep.
And Duke, not to take anything away from their body of work in the tournament, but Wisconsin did have to go through Arizona and Kentucky, which are probably two of the best teams that were in there. The Dukies played Michigan State, but dude, Michigan State was not at their best by any means that game. Michigan State couldn't even hit a basket, man. I was very, very disappointed with the way they came out in that game. They were just flat. I mean, first half, second half, the whole package, they were just flat. You know what I mean?
That had a lot to do with Duke's defense,
They had open looks, though.
No. Duke's defense was in Michigan State's ass. I'm sorry. You cannot take nothing. Duke's defense I'm just saying, though, there was times where they had open looks, kid, and couldn't drain anything. Because they was exhausted. They had an open look and couldn't believe it.
I know.
Listen, Duke's defense, I got to tell you, that's what's got me so tightly scared. Duke's defense on Michigan State, I have not seen Duke play defense like that all season. That defense was in their face. But I told you that kid, I told you Okafor, I expected Okafor to have a big game because I know that Harrell of Louisville was like kind of chumping Michigan State's defense when they played Louisville. So Duke, I tell you, Duke's defense was killer.
All right. But taking a look at this and actually looking at, I mean, coaching wise, I think Coach K has, obviously the more experience and all that. Looking at the smart chart, Duke is superior in like points for, points differential, rebounding, defensively and offensively. But, taking a look at this, I do agree with that whole charm team situation thing that you're talking about. And I think Wisconsin just has the momentum here to a certain extent after coming off Kentucky. But my concern is, coming off that game, did they blow their wad versus Kentucky? You know what I mean? Because that was like a huge win for them.
If you base it on past performances in the NCAA tournament, when teams come up, and I just remember UConn last year. I remember UConn, the game before the final game, it was like UConn wasn't supposed to win that game.
Florida.
And they went in and they did their thing and they won. And then they just came right into the next game and just did their thing and won again. And UConn was another team that was that charm team as well. And I mean, that's what I'm looking at Wisconsin. I see them, they manhandle and they beat Kentucky. And now, and I'll tell you, this is one reason I do like that the game is Monday and not a week away. Because it's so fresh, it's like they haven't really got a chance to catch their breath. As in other games, once you get that week in there, that hype, and you forget or whatever. So I like the fact that they play Monday, and they're playing tonight, because I don't think that I think that Wisconsin is still going to be razor sharp. I really do.
Okay, all right. So I am not going to bet the game initially. I think I'm going to. No, I'm going to bet the game.
Nice. Like a capper. Cool. Yeah, I'm my man. Go ahead. Because why? Because you're going to take the Brewers today, I guess.
No. No, I'm gonna get a look first.
You cannot back off the national title. We don't do that here.
Son, I'm going to get a look first and do a live line. I just don't know who I'm going to take yet.
We don't do that at Sports Bettors TV. We are putting out the pick before the game. Now, you are able to tweet it before the game, or you tell them it on the show. But there is no, I'm going to wait.
I don't like either side, though.
Not the national title game, dog. You can't do that.
Son, I'm battle with it because I'll be pissed if I want to get a look and see if Wisconsin still has the charm in like the first 5 minutes and then pop a live line in there. You know what I mean? I can usually get a pretty good
way out, gang.
Oh, whatever, son. He's just mad because I still own the title. But let's. Son, you ain't ever getting a piece of that belt.
His way out, y'all.
All right, you know what? I'm looking at it, and I agree. If you had to put a gun to my head like you're doing right now, I would say Wisconsin wins the game. I would. But I just don't know if I'm gonna. I got to kind of see what's going on with it first. You know what I mean? I think they have the momentum, and both teams got the momentum. Just Wisconsin's body of work in the tournament's a little bit more impressive to me than Duke's.
A little bit more impressive?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Arizona and
I think it's a lot more impressive. Hey, listen, guys, you guys know I am joking. Listen, honestly, I always preach don't force a bet.
No.
So I don't catch me wrong. This is not a $500 play, even though I may play it for that much. But this is not a $500 play by any means, because the game, honestly, it can go either way. This is a very close game. It's a very even game. I think there's great things you can say about both sides and both teams. So this is just going to be, this is a gut play. This isn't a game you should bet, a whole lot of money on. I think if you want to make it interesting, you go easy, no more than, $200 tops, because it's a tough game. But those of you that want to just, gamble, because we do have a lot of gamblers out there, you pick a side and you go for it. But I am I am gonna bet I'm gonna take Wisconsin, and I don't like what I really want to take. I got to be honest with you, I really want to take Duke, but I am gonna just take Wisconsin because of a few things that you mentioned. One, their body of work has been much better. They've beaten much better teams, and they beat the best. They beat the team who I thought was the best team in college basketball, and I still happen to think that. But they beat them, and I believe that Wisconsin is charmed.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and that's kind of where I'm leaning too. But I don't know. You know what? I'll put it out later if I do the game before the game. But I just want to see it, man, because you've seen Wisconsin. You know, when they played like Maryland. You know, a team like that's athletic. You know, just you kind of had a feeling in the beginning of the game, like, oh, you know what? I have a feeling. Dude, you even text me and say, you know, like what, like 8 minutes in, like this game's a problem for Wisconsin.
Yeah,
this game's a problem.
I know.
No. That's what I'm waiting for. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm waiting for. So
I know.
All right. So anyway, that's.
I just don't think that Wisconsin. I don't think we're gonna see. You know, this game's so big and it's so important, and both teams will be on edge. You know, I don't think you're gonna get that if you try to go live. I don't think you're going to see a live edge personally, because I think it's going to be back and forth. I don't really think you're going to see a live edge in this game. You'll probably have a tie score or something very close at the half. And then it'll probably be down to the wire in a tight-knit, closer game. And like I said, I could definitely see this game going into overtime. I think this is going to be one of the better games that we get to see.
Absolutely. And the game was pretty incredible, Wisconsin and Kentucky the other night.
You know, I didn't really like I wouldn't say incredible. I just didn't like it. I didn't like Kentucky's intensity, man. Yeah. I just didn't like the way they. I mean, I wish I could have seen them come out, you know, gangbusters right out of the gate. You know, their effort in the first 5 minutes of that game just looked like they were just doing their usual. Oh, we're here, we're gonna win. Don't worry, whatever. And I hate that.
Yeah, right. That's definitely what they had. So. Anyway, dude, let's keep it moving, man. All right, so you're feeling Wisconsin with your pocket, but not with your heart. So that's what you're going with. I'm leaning Wisconsin, but I just don't know if I'm going to put the play in before or during the game. But I'll definitely pop it up on Twitter and let everybody know once I'm feeling what I'm going to do. I'll put it out there, and we'll go from there, dude. So let's move on to the NBA. I think there's only one game tonight.
One game, and the Blazers are supposed to be resting like everybody.
Yes.
They got a small front court, so be careful with that NBA game tonight. As they're saying that, you know, Aldridge isn't going to play, and there's probably a couple more that aren't going to play. So be careful if you're taking this game. Also, the New Jersey Nets.
New Jersey.
The Brooklyn Nets have been off. You know, they've been playing good basketball lately. So this is a game that, you know, I would say get away from.
Son, I just couldn't believe that they got blown up by Atlanta the other night.
Yeah, I could. That was their one hiccup. But I mean, Atlanta's a good team.
I know, but I didn't expect Atlanta to being the number one seed in the East to be laying a smackdown on Brooklyn like that. You know what I'm saying? I did not expect that.
Right.
But taking a look at this, Brooklyn is 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games, dude.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Let's take a look at it.
Here you go. The team announced Sunday that LaMarcus Aldridge is playing with a sprained thumb. Banham, lower back sprain, and Canham, sprained right thumb, will all be held out of tonight's game. So, listen, I mean, it's either Brooklyn or don't play.
Yeah, I agree. But I think I like Brooklyn in the spot.
Dude, who's scoring for the Brooklyn Nets, though? Who scores all their points?
Mr. Lopez down low, kid. He's doing like 20.
Averaging 30 a game?
It's like 26 to 28 points a game, man.
That's what I'm supposed. So who's making up? Because the average game's 100 points, right? Who's scoring the other 80 points?
They spread it around, man. They're pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. I like watching them, man. I really do. I really do. And
Okay.
I think they'll make a little bit of noise in the playoffs. Surprising.
But I'm saying, who's their other scorer? Do they have another? Is it team ball? Is it another? Because I honestly, I haven't seen them. I like saw the one game I did watch. Everybody got injured.
You know, I mean, you got Joe Johnson over there. You know what I mean? You got Darren Williams.
All right. Joe's dope.
Yeah, you got some. You got some guys there. You know what I'm saying? Williams is still doing his thing. So.
See, I can't stand, I've never been a fan of Deron Williams. I've never been a fan of his game. I see Brooklyn's given 7, so apparently the books are all over Brooklyn. Hey, I guess Brooklyn is the way to go, guys.
I think so, and I have a 16 parlay, dude. I already got 3 of them to win, so I think I'm going to add them to it and add 2 more teams. I got to find 2 more though, but in a money line. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, if Portland's sitting all the guys, you may even be able to get the points, dude.
Brook Lopez is averaging 16.9 points a game
for the season.
Right? But you're saying he stepped it up like?
Yeah, big time, huge. Okay. Huge, definitely. So I don't know what he's done in the last 10, but take a look at it. I did read something where it was 26 or 27. He had player of the week or something like that. So, my big man down low, son. All right, so let's move on to that. I think we're leaning.
Hold on a second. As I'm going over here, I'm just looking real quick at what's going on over here as far as his team's concerned. You got Brook Lopez with the reboundings. You got the assists going on with Darren Williams. Yeah, apparently, I guess them two been really getting it in as far as this team is concerned.
Yeah. And
Joe Johnson's been doing his thing. Joe Johnson is averaging 14.6 points a game. Thaddeus Young has also been involved with the 14 points. So they are getting it done kind of as a team effort, guys. Hey, I guess I'm gonna say if you can get rid of the points, I think that this is an awesome money line team to take tonight, Brooklyn, as it looks like Portland's not even going to really come to play. So I think you can take Brooklyn. To be safe, if I'm going to give out Brooklyn, or if I were to take Brooklyn, guys, I definitely make it a money line play. As you know, baseball is going to be heavy with us today, so all the junkies will be quite.
Starts at 12 o'clock, kid. Yeah.
Add this to one of your baseball games and moneyline parlay, or you could moneyline parlay it with the national title game tonight, and make a little extra money on the win if you're on the right side.
Or you could do a teaser and get points with either side of the national title game.
Or you could do a teaser and get points with either side of the national title game. Yeah, which might not be bad because I don't see this game. I think if you get one team with at least 6 points, you're good.
That's where I would go with that. I think I would get Wisconsin plus 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying?
I think you got to get at least 6, and you might push with the 6. If you get 6.5, you should be golden. Only when you think about you come down, because this is what's going to happen, right? If Duke's up 2, all right, Wisconsin's going to come down and shoot a 3. If they miss, you get the long rebound, they foul. Duke's an excellent foul shooting team. So Duke's going to come down, they're going to shoot another 2. That's 4. Wisconsin will come down, they'll shoot another 3 because they like to shoot 3s. Hopefully they make one and not miss one, but if they miss 2, that's what I'm saying. That's why you're going to need at least 6, because I could see, possibly one being missed and one being made, and it could be right there on the line. So you know how that will work at the end of the game.
Yes. Big shout out to, listen, guys, we've already had a ton of people retweet the show, and I apologize, man. We've just been so busy. We got so much going on today, with the MLBs and the national title game and NBA and we haven't even done NHL yet, and we got MLBs to talk about. We got Immaculate. I got Eddie E. I got Sean Harnish. I got Frank Vincalato. I've got Smokey. I've got John Lewis, Marco Spagnola, Holiday, Millhouse. I've got Anthony Capriola, Jay Snyder, Irvin, Tip Talker, Dollar Days are here, and there's just so many more guys. You know what? Twitter cut you off, and I apologize about that. But, big happy birthday to my boy, the legendary Scott Matthews, man. It's his birthday today.
Wow, so all Aries team. This is an Aries team going on right around here. Everyone is deep in the Aries this month. Maybe that's Aries is a very bad sign for gamblers. Aries has some compulsive tendencies around themselves, and gambling in Aries, can either be very successful or very volatile because of our personalities. So you Aries guys, be careful, as I am an Aries myself. I want to get over here to the baseball guys. Now, you guys know, listen, I talk about the baseball, I crown about the baseball, but I do get down with baseball. So, I like playing with it and saying it's boring, and I do think that it is boring, but I still, I'm not gonna. I got a feel for baseball. I know what I'm doing with baseball a little bit. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recommend this. I'm gonna recommend one that you don't play heavy, obviously, because we need to see what's going on and where everybody's at. Today, the formula for the most part will probably be, take the dope pitcher from last year, as I see my man Kershaw's on the mound, so we know that he's dope. Take pretty much the dope pitcher from last year and some of the better teams from last year, and go against some of the bad teams from last year if you want to go early, because it generally takes a few years for you to go from good to bad. So in that respect, right out of the gate, I'm looking at, I'll tell you right now, the one game that I do like today, off the top of my head and looking at this, is I really like the Brewers today to come out and beat the Rockies. I like my man. They got Kyle Laus on the mound. I think Laus gets it done today. So that's my the first team that is, in my radar today as far as baseball is concerned. I do like the Brewers, but we're talking light money. We're talking like $50. We're going to talk like a parlay. I'm probably going to par two teams together. I really don't like the Mets. The Mets stunk last year. I didn't see a lot of improvement on them in the offseason. Yeah, I know they're getting Harvey back, but he's not pitching today. And I know the Nationals kind of had the Mets' number last year.
Yes.
I'm kind of looking for a little bit of that to still come to fruition today as well. So I'm kind of leaning the Nationals, but I'm on the fence about that game, as I got to, ask around a little bit and check some sources. So that's one of my other games that I'm looking at as well. You got anything out there, Hatter, for the baseball?
Taking a look at it here, I was looking at the hockey. I'm going to shoot over to the baseball, and then we'll do hockey at the end. Taking a look at the baseball ticket here. There's a lot of games. They all start at 1 o'clock, guys. So, I know this is Junkies Delight all day long, kid. Taking a look down here, you got Toronto coming into New York. New York is minus 138. Toronto had a long skid where they couldn't win in Yankee Stadium forever. They finally broke it last year, but they still, don't do so well there. I know the Evil Genius got a lot of plays, which I'll talk about them in a little bit. Let's see. I'm looking at this.
The Yanks are a complete question mark for me this season.
Yeah,
I cannot go anywhere near the Yankees right now.
You got Minnesota at Detroit. Dizzle was telling me that Minnesota just lost somebody. I forgot who it was, but for PED use. So Minnesota's going to be in trouble. Detroit Tigers, as you know, last year they had the really awful bullpen. So you might want to take a look at that. I don't know if they've made any moves to increase, to better that bullpen or not, but they lost a lot of games because of it. It probably cost them, their shot at the World Series. I'm leaning Detroit, but I got to look a little bit further into it, and I want to just tell you this, bro. So when you're playing live lines with basketball, dude, it's so fast, right? It's like basket. You're almost like, you got like 2 to 3 seconds to put a play in, right? Baseball, dude, it's like going from basketball to baseball. It's like playing, Georgia's offense versus Oregon in college football. You know what I'm saying? It's like Oregon being like basketball is like so fast, like every 20 seconds they're snapping a ball. To baseball, it's like you can just sit back and just look at the live lines pop up, and they sit up there for a while. It's like, every other pitch. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it here, and I could tell you right now, I think I'm going to make a lot of money with baseball with live lines just because of how slow it goes. So taking a look at it, I think I'm gonna take Detroit and then just kind of follow the live lines and see where it goes with that. But I think I'm gonna go Detroit. And looking at it, I'm seeing the Brew Crew is playing Colorado. They're minus 155 juice. Let's see, Boston and Philly today. Philadelphia is supposed to be really, really bad this year. But Philly's at home. And believe it or not, Boston is favored slightly, minus 115. Baltimore is playing at Tampa Biscuit. Tampa Biscuit minus 123 juice. What about the Natties, kid? New York.
I said I like the Natties.
New York,
I
I know.
I like the Natties today. They're playing the Mets. I'm going to like pretty much anybody that's playing in the Mets, as I don't think the Mets have greatly improved from last season like they were supposed to. They were supposed to go out there and spend some money, and they're borderline maybe being broke behind the Ponzi thing, and their money is dusty, and they're trying to play with smoke and mirrors, this Met team, and they needed to add some more ingredients to the mix, which I don't think they did. And I like the Nationals, but I'm still on the fence with that. I got to do a little homework with that. I got till 4 to get that in, but right out of the gate, like you said, I'm on the Brew Crew today. All
right. Let me just scroll down a little bit more. We got Atlanta playing at Miami. Atlanta's supposed to be pretty bad according to Dizzle. Miami, their typical bad ways as well. Miami's minus 126. You got the Chicago White Sox playing at K-Sizzle Royals. K-Sizzle minus 110. LA Angels at Seattle at 410. Seattle minus 149. That should be a hell of a game. That should be a really good game there. Dizzle's picking Seattle to win the World Series.
Yeah, okay. That's Cade Felix there on the mound for Seattle. I hope Dizzle's right.
Yeah, let's see.
I wouldn't go near this game, though, for anything, as the Angels were pretty good last year. And, King Felix is dope. That looks like an under game to me, guys. I don't know what the total is, but Weaver's on the mound for the Angels, so that would look, that's kind of leaning under to me, but I'm not going near that game.
6.5, player.
Might want to get down with it. I don't know. You guys got to get on that. Right now, for me, I got the Brewers, and possibly I'm a roll with Oak Tree again, because I love that Oakland team last year.
Don't forget about the no score first innings too, dude.
Yeah, the no score first innings might be dope this season, especially right now today early. I do remember those. I want to finish up this college basketball tonight. I am gonna play the Brewers though today, and I'm probably gonna play the Brewers in the Athletics. But I am gonna finish up the college basketball today. And then we'll deal with a little bit of this baseball. I'm going Brewer Athletics. I told you I was working on hockey. I actually got a hockey parlay to work Saturday, finally, with the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Bruins. And hockey's about to move into the playoffs, so we got to look for some series wagers on hockey when the playoffs start.
All right, yes. Let's see. We got San Diego Padres at the LA Dodgers. LA Dodgers are minus 185. As you know, Kershaw's on the mound. I kind of like that spot as well, dude.
Yeah, I don't really mind that. What's it minus, though? It's got to be minus a ton.
Well, it's 185 because San Diego, I believe, has big game shields now.
Okay.
So we got to take a look at that and see where it goes with there. Let me just.
Yeah, they got Shields. Shields is on the mound for them today. The Dodgers, I don't know. I'm leaving them alone. I like them, but I'm leaving them alone.
Let's see. Cleveland at the Houston Astros. I know Dizzle likes the Astros today. Astros are actually an underdog plus 108. We got Texas Rangers at the Oakland A's. You're feeling the A's minus 142, player?
Yes, sir. Sonny Gray is on the mound for the A's. They're going against Texas. Texas has traditionally stunk for the last year. So yeah, I'm gonna take Sonny tonight. Even though they got my man Gallardo going for the Rangers. And he's not a bad pitcher at all. But I'm gonna go with the A's tonight.
And then we got your favorite, the San Francisco Giants, the defending champs, kid, who the dream hates. Guys, listen, you know what? We started this show around baseball season last year in July.
Yes, we did.
The Daily Show. And that's all there was, dude, was baseball when we first started. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, it was pretty fun, man, listening to the dreams, nonsense about baseball all that time. But then we journeyed over into football, and then we had basketball and the whole package, go from there. But, they're playing at Arizona, and San Francisco is minus 137. I would assume they got Bumgarner on the mound, no?
San Francisco has Bumgarner on the mound. Yes, sir.
Who's incredible. They're playing at Zizzle, and the under-over is 7.5. So, All right, man. I mean, if I had to lean today, I'm going with the all-star pitchers. I mean, you're probably, I'm thinking Detroit. I think I'm feeling, King Felix, and I think I'm feeling Kershaw to do their things. But I got to take a look at them, and I'll put them out in a little bit, guys, once I figure out who I'm taking today.
I could be swayed Detroit. I may hop on Detroit as well. Price is a pretty good pitcher. Even though he does kind of start out a little dusty at the beginning of the year, so we may have to take a look at that when we taking it into consideration. But I can be swayed into Detroit right now. I'm loving Milwaukee and Oakland. I'm staying away from that Angels-Seattle game. I got to see a little bit of work out of the Mariners. I mean, Felix is dope. We know that. But the Angels, I think they got a little bit more on the bat than Seattle has to offer. So I'm not ready to jump and get involved in that game. I like the Brewers. Colorado's. Coming to them, playing out of their time zone, out of their time slot, out of their element where they play at. So I'm going to go with Milwaukee, and I'm going to go with Oak Tree today.
Okay. All right, man.
That's my money line parlay of the day to start off. For those of you that I want to track the dream, because I noticed I've been getting a lot of attention from a lot of people. I see that guys are, I got to be careful with, I try to post you guys picks, of the gambling that I'm doing, so, we can keep that scrutiny out of it. I guess as I post picks, I got people, keeping track of what tabs I got open and telling me all kinds of my personal business. And I mean, I know it's not the nucleus of the nation. I know it's all love, and I know we all like one big family. And I know we got, some of the outsiders that just want to, put a negative spin on what we do here, want to come at me in a negative way. But guys, I am gonna start changing that as far as what I put out as far as the picks are concerned, as I got some people a little bit into my personal business that I'm not really feeling quite like that. So I got to change a little bit of that for you. But rest assured, if the dream tells you I'm playing it, I'm playing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you something that I'm not on.
Yes. All right.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going Wisconsin, but I haven't put the wager in yet. So you may want to wait till around 8 to look for the tweet. I will put out the tweet. I'm pretty sure, though, I'm going to go Wisconsin. But I could be talked into Duke. But me personally, though, I'm almost 90. I'm 90% sure I'm going Wisconsin.
Okay. All right. Let me take a look at see what the evil genius is on today. He hit me up with it. And, here we go. Dr. Dan's opening day plays. He's going right back at it. Astros, Mariners, Royals, Mets, Tigers, Jays. All money line plays.
And the Mets is a heart play.
Yeah, right.
The Mets, Doc Dizzle likes the Mets. That's heart playing.
So we got Astros, Mariners, Royals, Mets, Tigers, Jays. All money line plays to win one unit. Right back at it for the evil genius, man. I gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Did he didn't get the college basketball out?
No, not yet.
All right.
Not yet. Let's go into the NHL, kid, because we got some games on the ticket here. We got the Columbus Blue Jackets coming into the Rangers. The Rangers minus 200. Now, Dream, we got to be careful on which teams are going to take their feet off the gas.
And that's why I wanted to just say this. I'm not playing. I'm sorry. I'm not playing hockey till the playoff starts.
You're not, huh?
No, I'm backing off of hockey till their playoff starts because it's been up and down, and like you said, we don't know. I don't know, so I'm gonna just back off till the playoff starts. I'm watching it. I mean, if I see something that stands out, yeah, I'll throw it out there for you. But unless I get that, I'm not doing it. I'm just not playing hockey till the playoff starts because it's just right now. The feel of it has been real shaky.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. So let me just take a look and see what we got for lines. So New York's minus 200. That's the best you can get on sportsbetterstv.com. Carolina, Buffalo. Carolina minus 160 at Buffalo. Winnipeg at the Wild. The Wild minus 155. Kings at Vancouver minus 131. And San Jose is given minus 140 juice where Dallas is coming into town. So you're not on it, huh?
The only one that I would like, but I'm not. I think they may rest guys. I like the Rangers. The Rangers should beat the Blue Jackets up. I like the Rangers, but guys, go with the first lady in Total Sports Edge. I ain't gonna give you something I don't like. That I don't love, and that I'm not playing. And I'm not playing hockey, so I'm not playing hockey. I'm not doing it. I'm definitely not playing it tonight because I'm doing the basketball. I'm going to throw a little money on this baseball thing. And listen, the loss numbers for this week were as anybody who's watched Twitter known, because some of my enemies have decided that they were going to post my numbers. And I love guys that want to talk about my numbers but haven't posted none of theirs.
Yeah, right.
Remember that. Guys who talk crap about me, none of their stuff is available. We're going to get on the Dream and tell you what he did. As far as even from my picks and how I look to my plays, everybody wants to get on my case, but if you go to their page, they got like an abbey of nature, sitting on their thing. But they want to talk about the Dream, how I look. So as we're not into that, and I'm very secure in how I look. I got obviously no problems when we go out to the clubs, and anybody that came out to Vegas knows that the Dream has no problems with that. Even though I'm married, so I'm not even trying to get into that. But on the other side of that, guys, I lost a lot of money last week. I lost to Gino on the Clippers. You guys know that. And then I ended up losing big on Kentucky. For the season, the season parlay I lost, and then I lost the parlay on Saturday, and then I lost with LeBron yesterday as well. I was able to come back with the other parlay that won, but I lost with LeBron straight yesterday. So, I've been banged up, so I'm going to recover. Going to go a little bit easier on the gambling today as the numbers are getting heavy. I'm still up quite a bit, but still. Yeah, right. I didn't mean to give that much back.
No, definitely. You gave a lot back, man. So, hey, you know what? It happens, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
But, we're fresh into baseball, kids. So, hey, maybe we can do a little bit of work with baseball.
And at least we being real about it, too, here, too. I ain't trying to tell you that the loss has been there, and I've stepped up and accepted them, and you've seen the numbers. So, hey, it is what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, dude, I think that pretty much does it, man. We went through NCAA, we went through NBA, we went through NHL, and we went through the MLBs, dude.
Yes, sir.
That's it for us, baby. That's it for us. So why don't we close out of here? I got a big day at work today, man, and we got opening day, so I'm gonna try to stay focused with work and see what happens with that. But why don't you recap what you got going on?
Go ahead. All right. I'm just going to – Papa Smurf, no, I'm not harping on it. I'm just being transparent. Listen, I like to be transparent with mine. As you know, I'm the spokesperson, and I got a big mouth, and when I win, I'm always talking about – like I said, dude, I'm this is how I am. I'm a big mouth, so I continue to be a big mouth. If anything's going to be consistent about me, you know what it is? I'm consistently a big mouth. All right? I ain't one of them guys that want to rah when I win, and then you can't find me when I lose, because I hate them guys. I'm not going to go hide under a rock. I'm not going to run away from my losses, because you guys know, had I hit the Clippers and had Kentucky won, I've been in here going ham right now this morning, screaming about how dope I am. So, hey, I got to go ham and scream about how I'm dusty, got beat, got played. They got me. I fell for it. And that's just how it is. I'm going to be consistent till I die. That's who I am. That's what I'm going to be. And I ain't going to ever run away from no loss, because anybody who gambles knows that the wins and the losses just come at us. So there's no need to be backing away. That being said, let me get out of here, guys. Want to thank the kid, Almighty Kev, the Capper Zone. And Capper Zone has changed his name, which I hate, but the new name is CVVIP 2015. Guys, please don't change your name, because I hate that. 2015. Check him out. Papa Smurf is out there as well. Crash Action Bets, Betting the Dream. Jay Gotts. Phillies Picks is out there. G Rose, my boy Scott Weaver. Rafael Esparza. Nicholas J. Sports Degen. Deeks Picks. Dank. Sports Attacks. Sin City Mavericks. The Champ. Total Sports Edge. The Queen of Odds. Winning Picks. No Request. Jonesy. LVCC. Vegas Girl 92661. Oscar Kano. Randy Lockhart. Beyond the Bets. Maddie Fresh. Cole Better. Prestige Worldwide. Born and Raised HI. Rainmaker 512. APB. Mo Emerson, my man Joseph Del Rosario, Tony Enab, Crown Man Swag, Lex, Ben Diaz, Spot Bet, and so many more. Hey guys, listen, I am the dream. You guys can hit me up on the DM or tweet or however you want to do it. If you want to talk about this Wisconsin game and somebody is really on Duke and you got some real solid information, you want to holler at your boy and you want to, run your boy off of Wisconsin, I'm open ears. I'm open to it all day, as I think, like I said, this is a pretty evenly matched game. I don't think you can go wrong. One team is gonna win, but you cannot. No one's gonna be mad at you or think you stupid if you go the other way. As there is not a clear-cut winner here. So this is one of those, coin flip games. You shouldn't bet a lot on it because, as a profitable, responsible gambler, there's no clear side that's going to win this game. I don't care what anybody says. It's not. This is just a gut check and somebody going out playing. This is an instinct play. And if you win, it's probably you're going to be lucky. It's not because you're a great capper, so don't tell me about that. But if you guys got some information you want to go back and forth, hit me up, and I'm all ears. Thank you for your support. As always, remember who you with. And make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. I got the Andy Mack out there. I got Mo Diggs. I got my man Mario Martinez, my Costa Rica connection. I got Dork out there. I got Direct Sports Solution, hashtag SBTV Nation. I got Pine Tar Immortal, Sergio Rodriguez, Star Guzzi, Immaculate, Eddie E. I got Sean Harnish. I got Frank Vincolato, Smokey. I got John Lewis, Marco Spagnola, Holiday, Millhouse, Anthony Capriolo, Jay Snyder, Tip Talker, Dollar Days are here. Mr. Mac, Bataflaka, hashtag SBTV Nation, Total Sports Edge. Can't wait to get you on for the hockey playoffs. And Michael Lee, just to name a few. Guys, we love you to death. We are Sports Bettors TV and SportsBettersTV.com. We are looking forward to some major shows coming up. Tomorrow, I got the Moneyline guy coming on to discuss some more baseball. Thursday, we got SportsLock.com. Can't wait to get them on. Next Wednesday, NHL playoffs. The First Lady of Fake Fam and Total Sports Edge are going to be coming on. And then the Friday after that is my birthday party. And my man, Crush the Bookie, said he's going to call in for a few minutes, along with my bride.
All right.
Yeah, dude. Definitely, man. I talked to him on the phone the other day, man. He was, I think he's had 3 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. So we got to make sure he's up and rested and ready to rock for that show. And we will go from there. Guys, we love you to death. Go out there. Go easy with all this opening day madness. But get that money. Take care.